What's up, guys? Wayne here. We are doing the Real Betis-Roma preview, Group C, the Europa League. It is time for Roma to get back on track here. It hasn't been the most wonderful campaign, we know that, but it is definitely time for them to go and implement their match and show Mourinho that they have learned a thing or two from his tactics and his discipline. But first, I want to head into what has Real Betis been up to. Let's look at some of these stats. They're the only team in the group to have beaten all three opponents, HJK, Ludogorets, and of course Roma. As we know very well, that was Luis Enrique scoring in the 88th minute last week. That was a real heartbreaker, and he'll be getting the start again. We'll be getting to the preview, expected formations in just 1 minute. So Real Betis over the weekend, they actually played out to a goalless draw to Real Valladolid. Sorry, my Spanish is not so great. But Betis are unbeaten in their previous 10 Europa League group stage matches at home, winning 6 and drawing 4. That's a staggering statistic there. So you could say, yes, this is a fortress for them to be playing there. Pellegrini's side have also won all 5 of their home games across all competitions this season, and they have never lost when hosting an Italian opponent. Their most recent one was against AC Milan in 2018-19 season. So all signs statistically are pointing against Roma, but sometimes you just got to overcome that, right? You got to go and you have to play your game, and I'll keep saying that because what I am looking for in this particular match is a response that they have learned and that the chemistry is building. I need to see a progression, right? And Mourinho has come out and mentioned this in the Lecce post-match that sometimes the players, it's as if he's speaking a different language or his Italian got bad, he mentioned. So right now, it's time to implement the things that they've been going over on the training ground and also get that XG to match the actual goal line, right? We need to see some great finishing going into this match. So Manuel Pellegrini, of course, he was at Real Madrid earlier in his career. I believe even City, right? Yeah, City. And he's a manager that has to be respected. He's doing a great job building this team, I think. They are a group of players who are a mix of youth with experience, with wisdom, really. And I'm going to look through some of these players right here. You've got Claudio Bravo, speaking of wisdom, 39 years old, captain of Chile. Then the right back, Rui Bal. He actually grew up as a winger, so I'm going to want to see if that's going to be exploited. But as it so happens in Spanish football is that you see guys who are wingers get dropped back into being wing backs. Then German Patzela, you remember him from being the captain of Fiorentina. He's a player I really like. He played with Davide Astori. Same prayer for our guy there. Then next to him, Felipe, the Brazilian, 25 years old, and Miranda, the left back, 22. Speaking of youth there. Then we've got Guido Rodriguez, who's looked to get, even though he's a center back, Guido Rodriguez is actually being rumored to be starting in the midfield role. I'm not sure how that's going to work for him. But Carvalho, the 30-year-old defensive midfield journeyman, will be up there as well. Enrique, he'll get the start after that game-winning goal against Roma. And he's a 21-year-old winger from Fluminense. And Real Betis has invested a lot of time, energy, and resources in him. He's penned down until 2028. So this was a big operation for the club with, modest means, we could say. Canales, 31-year-old attacking mid. He got signed for Real Madrid earlier in his career. I think he was 19. Went on to play for Valencia, Real Sociedad. And then Rodri, the 22-year-old left winger. We remember he's the player who played that lofted ball into Enrique, which went right over the head of Spinazzola. And up top, we've got Iglesias. 6 goals so far in the campaign. So Betis has this mix of players that they're filling in who might not be totally comfortable in their positions, a little unorthodox from where they've formally played throughout their career. So we see that Pellegrini is trying different things. Meanwhile, though, Roma is facing their own injuries. Speaking of that, I want to mention that Fekir is out. So Dybala, Fekir, both of these teams' main focal points in the attack are eliminated from this game. So you're going to get, I think, a bit of a mystery from the goal-scoring opportunities coming into this, or at least the reference to the points of attack, where the goal is going to come from. And that's a mystery heading into this one. The possible starting lineup for Roma is looking like Rui Patricio, Mancini, Smalling, Ibanez. It's what we've seen, tried, and done so many times so far this season. Then Zalewski, Pellegrini drops back into the midfield role, most likely, with Cristante, and then Spinazzola out on the left. Now, the predicted trident, predicted once again, is Abraham, Belotti, and El Shaarawy. I'm interested with that. If that actually does come to fruition in this match, who is going to drop back and be the ball carrier to get this ball between the lines and to make those progressions? That's what I want to see. I have a funny feeling that that's actually not going to be it, but wondering if Mourinho tinkers and does something unexpected with that. Because if that's the case, is it El Shaarawy? No, because he plays more off of the center forward, who would be Abraham in this situation. But then Belotti, of course not. He's not a right winger. It's going to be more like a 1-2 that we would see there, some type of fluid variation between the three of them. So I have a feeling that I don't know what's going to happen, and this El Shaarawy, Abraham, Belotti expected formation is actually not going to be who starts, but this one's going to be surprising. I have no idea as far as a prediction for this one, 0-0, whatever it might be, but I do need to see Roma show up and stake their claim in the Europa League and go and cement their situation on second place there, cement their status in second place. And that's going to be really interesting going into the round of 16. We see some big teams that will be dropping off, such as Ajax, perhaps Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk. So the Europa League's about to heat up in a big way. But even so, if you're afraid of those teams, I don't want to see Roma drop down to the Conference League. They've proven their point there. And if they do, it'll just be a distraction to gaining points throughout the Serie A. So I do not want to see that continue. If it did, maybe Mourinho just plays the youth and they take it from there. But anyway, Roma has to go in and win. This is going to be a tough one. Again, look at this home record, as I stated previously. Real Betis is making a really, really strong situation here for themselves, and for Roma, a difficult one heading into this. But as always, Forza Roma. Send this video to your friends, hit like, all that good stuff. Thanks for checking it out.